Psychiatry for a Mad World. An extract from the book. This attitude of stigma around mental illness is likely to add extra stress to people who are already vulnerable to mental illness. The stigma may exacerbate illness in those already suffering, but it is quite likely that for some people the stress from stigma and social exclusion could actually be generating mental illness. From where does the stress originate? You may recall my list of 26 mental ailments I've experienced from earlier in the book. They were neurosis, depression, breakdown, mania, compulsion, obsession, delusion, denial, paranoia, suicidal thoughts, information overload, serendipity, synchronicity, psychosis, hallucination, narcissism, personality disorder, severe anger, sleep problems, persecution, alcoholism, stress and anxiety, panic attacks, theomania, and social anxiety. I have reason to believe that most of these ailments were caused by cruelty and selfishness shown towards me from other people. Cruelty and selfishness which caused me stress. My experience fits in with the accepted stress vulnerability model, which describes how the onset of many mental illnesses is brought on by a combination of vulnerability and stress. I may have had high resilience to the illnesses I acquired, but the stress I experienced was so severe as to cause those illnesses to appear. Historically, my ailments happened like this. My primary neurosis, my fear of mental illness, was instilled in me in my teen years by people close to me who were cruel and selfish. The neurosis led to despair, depression, and breakdown, and eventually to suicidal thoughts. When the persecution became worse, I acquired generalized anxiety, for which I had to take medication. The anxiety gave me a fear of many things, including confined spaces, travel abroad, dentists, sitting in a theatre, and flying in an aircraft. It also led to panic attacks and nightmares. I developed social anxiety, a condition which I still have today. The severe stress led to psychotic serendipity and synchronicity, for which I had to take more medication, and an instance of hallucination. All this made me more depressed. To help cope with the social anxiety and the depression, I turned to alcohol, often drinking to excess. The cruelty I received, even for a while, trained me to be cruel to other people around me. So my conclusion is that this whole range of mental illnesses can be generated by one thing, which I have so far been calling cruelty and selfishness, originating from ordinary people who thought they were healthy. So if we are to tackle the mental health of our entire planet, we have found something which is a fundamental cause of numerous mental disorders. What I have been referring to as cruelty and selfishness is in fact a recognised mental disorder. It is known as psychopathy or sociopathy or personality disorder. My anecdotal evidence is supported by the observations of clinicians. The American clinical psychologist and author Dr. Martha Stout has treated hundreds of adults suffering trauma, chronic anxiety, depression, dissociative mental state and suicide attempts and found that, quote, most of them have been psychologically shattered by individual human perpetrators, often sociopaths, sometimes sociopathic strangers, but more typically sociopathic parents, older relatives or siblings, end quote. So to heal a wide range of mental illnesses, we need to look to the cause, and for this I am choosing the term psychopathy, the disorder of the psychopath. Psychopathy, we will find, is the root cause of a vast amount of suffering in the world.